G'day everyone, and welcome to another edition of Chris Rankin's Music Crush. Just thought I'd come on and show a couple of new releases that I got. I've actually been dying to show for a little bit. Just haven't had the time. I've been working non-stop, but really wanted to come on. I'm going to try and make videos a little bit more often, work permitting. I've got some great new releases to show you by some of my favourite bands, and a couple of other things I've been listening to in between as well. So I'll get started pretty soon, get onto this. Two bands that I absolutely love. First of all, I've talked about this band a fair bit before. They have very quickly become one of my all-time favourite bands. From Vancouver, Canada. I've talked before about how I lobbied like crazy a big-time metal concert band promoter to bring them to Perth. Thankfully he did. I'm forever grateful to Brad, the Soundworks Touring, and Dicey for bringing Archspire to Perth. It was definitely one of the best gigs I've ever seen, and just amazing, absolutely brilliant. And of course I'm talking about the band Archspire, technical death metal band that are unique. They don't sound like any other band. Even though there is a lot of technical death metal bands out there, this band sounds very different. Their vocalist is very different, and in my opinion, one of the best drummers in the world. He is insanely fast, insanely talented, incredible, absolutely incredible. Spencer Pruitt. I love this band. And a week and a half ago, they brought out their brand new fourth album, which I'd known about for a while. I had a couple of little snippets sent to me and able to listen through, and officially I got the album about a week ago, and I just haven't had a chance to come on and show you. But this is their brand new fourth album, Bleed the Future. Absolutely brilliant. Really like this. The actual cover that it came in is the nice thick sort of cover, and it's got the hype sticker and everything on that, so that's really nice to keep it. I don't have to get a generic outer sort of cover for it. That's the artwork. As I say, this is their fourth album, technical death metal from Vancouver, Canada. This album's a little bit more progressive metal, some snippets of neoclassical metal. I'm still digesting this quite a lot. As I say, I've got a chance to listen to a lot of it before its release, but still digesting. Brilliant. I've said this a few times, but their average is masterpiece. That sounds weird, I know, but it's true. Very, very quick space of time, they have become into my top 10 metal bands of all time. The Lucid Collective which is their second album, is definitely in the top 10 of my favourite metal albums of all time. That's the one that really put them on the map, and it's probably still my favourite. This might be coming in as the second one, or even their debut. It's just magnificent. There's no other way to say it. Absolutely magnificent. So I'll take it out of there. Nice gatefold. No insert, so everything's on the gatefold, which is really cool. And see, that's the thing you always see on all of their stuff, even some of their shirts. Stay tech. Did manage to meet the band when they came to Perth. Met the vocalist the most and had a good chat and good conversation with him, Ollie. Very interesting dude is all I'll say. If you follow him on Facebook or other things, he is a bit of an out there dude. Has a very interesting dark sense of humour, that is for sure. And a metal vocalist There's not many like him, actually. There's really not. And the way he does his growls and the syncopated rhythms that he does the growls, and the way, if I say rapping, it's going to turn a lot of people off, and it's not rapping. It's just the way he does it. He almost sounds a little bit like a machine gun at times. He's been likened to. Is another thing that makes Archspire a unique band and unique sounding. They just don't sound like anyone else. And I've said this before, I do like technical death metal a lot. I love it. But I do hear when people whinge and complain a bit that their solos and everything all sounds as many notes per second as you can, and it's a bit too widdly diddly and all that. The thing that I like about Archspire, yes, they are fast and they're technical and lots of musical wizardry and musicianship, but two things. They still write great songs. The songs are excellent. They have hooks. They're addictive. It's not just mind-blowing musicianship. You actually want to hear the songs again. And a lot of their solos that they have are more like the long, sort of trancey, space rocky, sort of even 70s prog rock inspired solos. So they're a bit more long and drawn out, and the notes are held longer. And that really sort of separates them, I think, to a lot of the technical death metal bands that are around. Just on black, I know you could order, I think there was a gold variant that you could order, but I just wanted to get this as early as I could from a very good source. Absolutely brilliant. I have everything they've owned, they've done. And their debut album, which is very hard to get a physical copy of, I have it on CD, and I've got two of them. So I will be holding on to that second copy for a rainy day. Quite a valuable album I've seen. I didn't actually even realise it. When I got it, I got the second one by accident. From memory now, I think I got it on Bandcamp early on when it came out, and then I got the second one sent to me by accident again. It was like a mistake double order or something like that. And I've been holding on ever since. I didn't realise it until a friend messaged me about a year and a half ago and said, "Did you realise that debut album you have, the CD, is worth a lot?" And I said, "Well, I've actually got two of them, so yeah, I'll be holding on to that for a rainy day. You never know." Track listing on the back. As I say, I'm still digesting it all. They're definitely not really a band that is all about singles or a 3-minute grab. It's the album seeps into you, and it's just pure enjoyment, pure escapism. And yeah, Archspire, the brand new album, Bleed the Future. I could do a whole hour video about how much I love this band and everything I love about them. Just so good. In fact, I could quite easily do a whole hour video on death metal and technical and progressive death metal from Canada, because that country just owns everybody. Absolutely owns everybody. I can think of about 20 to 25 technical death metal bands, progressive death metal bands, all from Canada, that are just fantastic, so good. And of course, my favourite non-metal band of all time, Rush, is Canadian as well. So yeah, fantastic. Another new release that came out a little bit before that, back in mid-October, that I talked about. I waited. I was going to get the CD version. I walked into a big music chain that we have here in Australia, JB Hi-Fi, and I thought, yeah, I'll just get the CD. You know what? And I looked on their website, and it said there was no vinyl available at all. You would have had to order it. I thought, just before, let me just go and check the vinyl section. Well, I'm actually kind of pleased that the website made a mistake, because it probably meant that the vinyl went underneath the radar and no one knew it was there, and it meant that I got it. Couldn't believe it. And I'm talking about the brand new album by Dream Theater, also one of my all-time favourite bands. I absolutely love this band. This is their 15th album, progressive metal band. You know, a lot of people consider them the kings of progressive metal. Certainly of modern progressive music since late 80s, early 90s. Very prominent band. Love this album. Still digesting it. A Dream Theater album is definitely not a quick fix album. I'm pretty sure I like it more than Distance Over Time, their last album. I don't know whether I like it more than Dramatic Turn of Events. Maybe. It's hard now because Dramatic Turn of Events, of their more recent albums, and I say more recent albums, the last 15 years, might still be my favourite in that era. And it might be hard for this one to catch up to that because now I've got quite a bit more history with that album. But this is absolutely brilliant. Now, we'll be careful because I haven't put in I still don't know if I'm going to store the 2 discs in the jacket or not. What I've been doing lately with this one, because there is quite a big insert in there as well. I've just been storing it. I know we send them inside the gatefold, but I've been storing the actual records in the gatefold like this, in the outer sleeve. I feel like when I put the 2 discs in here with the insert, it feels a little bit snug. So I don't know if I'll continue on with that. Let me see. I'll show you one of the discs first. Obviously, they're both exactly the same, but nice sort of a silver grey matte colour there. Sounds phenomenal. I mean, all Dream Theater albums, regardless of the format, always sound incredible, and this is no exception. Just, absolute masters. All the band, absolute masters of their craft. Whether it's John Petrucci on guitar or John Mayung on bass or Labrie, his voice is really back to full strength and going strong. And just a phenomenal band. I love this band, and there was a lot of worry when Portnoy left. I'm forgetting the drummer's name now. How silly of me. I know it off by heart. Hang on, it'll be... No, of course it's not written. Anyway. Right there. All the Dream Theater fans are going, you're a fool, Chris. How can you forget him? I know that. It's always the way when you come on camera. Things that are the most obvious you forget. An absolute phenomenal drummer. Yeah, maybe he doesn't have quite the same feeling that Portnoy had, but an amazing technical drummer and brilliant, and a very worthy replacement. And I probably shouldn't say replacement because he's been with the band for quite a while now. So, but yeah, that's the gatefold. I probably would have liked a bit more of the artwork in the gatefold rather than the band. No offence to the band, but and there's the front cover there. As I say, their 15th album in the back cover. I do love the insert quite a lot. It's a lovely booklet. Mike Mangini, thank you, insert. How silly. One of the biggest Dream Theater fans on the planet, and I forgot. Anyway, it happens, right? Some good artwork in the insert. You got all the lyrics. It's quite big, so it's sort of folding on me as I'm showing you. Shots of the band, Labrie, Petrucci, Rudess, Mayung, and there he is, the man I forgot the name of. I'm sorry, Mike Mangini. And then a different take on the View from the Top of the World, which is the name of the album. So View from the Top of the World like that, and then you've got View from the Top of the World. On the CD, I did see another artwork that was a different take again on View from the Top of the World, which was really good. So a lovely package all put together. Just everything. The sound, the look, the feel, the lovely booklet insert. Love Dream Theater. They are one of those bands. We all have our bands that we buy things instantly no matter what. Dream Theater is one of them. I don't need to listen to one note. I will get it instantly. I love them. I love everything they've done. Even my least favourite album of theirs, I still love. Well, actually not love. I like, remembering back to my rankings video. None of them, okay, I'll put it this way, none of them I actually hate. There's a couple that I go, Systematic Chaos, not a big fan of, but I certainly don't hate it, that's for sure. But pretty much everything else they've done, I absolutely love. Now, moving on to some things I've been listening to in and around the new releases that I got. Been listening to this a lot. Not sure how many of you know this band. Great band from Indianapolis, Indiana. Doom metal, sort of a cross between doom metal, epic doom metal, and traditional heavy metal. The cover, I guess, kind of gives that away. Not quite as heavy as that cover looks. That cover makes them look a little bit more menacing they are. And that's not to say that they're lightweight, not at all. But yeah, certainly on the lighter side of of doom metal and epic doom metal. Really good riffs, really catchy. And a lot of their albums, this is my favourite album of theirs, it's called Hymns of Blood and Thunder. I couldn't remember if it was Hymns of Thunder and Blood or Hymns of Blood and Thunder, but this is probably my favourite album of theirs. And a lot of their albums, I find they're not an instant. It's not like you don't like it, first of all, but I find all of their albums, it's the third time through you really start to, oh yeah, this is fantastic. And yeah, I've had this for quite a while. This was, I can't remember, I can't see. The dates are way too small. I think it was 2006. Might be, no, that can't be right, because this is much later. This is their fourth album. Let me see if I can find it reasonably quickly. No, I know I'm wrong on the 2006. I know I'm way wrong. I don't know why I have that in my mind. But I'm sure if you really need to know the date, you can look it up. Yeah, so Gates of Slumber, name of the band. They've never really done a bad album, and this is their fourth album. Really, really good stuff. I can't remember if it's got any artwork on the. Not really. No, it's all pretty much the same pics. Anyway, my favourite songs on here, Chaos Calling, brilliant, absolutely brilliant song. The Bringer of War, I mean, the song titles on here, on this album, are fantastic. Absolutely, just what, they're sort of the song titles you want to see on an album like this. So you've got Chaos Calling, another favourite song of mine. You've got The Bringer of War, how good does that sound? Descent into Madness, and I really love there's a big sort of epic track called Iron Hammer, which I absolutely love. Might be my favourite song on here, and Blood and Thunder. So, with those song titles, you kind of know what you're going to get. So if you never checked out Gates of Slumber, check them out. Very, very, very good band indeed. Really good, and I don't really hear many people talking about them. Just one of those bands that once you know, you love them. And another sort of band that, without them, I don't want to make it sound like they're sort of generic or whatever, but they're a sort of band that I think would appeal to many. They're not too light. They're not too brutal for the people that don't like brutal. I feel they sort of would appeal to a very large sort of cross-section of the metal listening community. Now, been on a really big Blue Oyster cult kick of late. Don't know where it came from, but I've been listening to quite a lot. And the one that I've been listening to a lot, I've been going back through a little bit of my Blue Oyster cult stuff. And I've been listening to this. so much. In fact, I think, yep, CD's not even in there. It's still in the car. But yeah, listening to it a lot. And I was having a discussion on my Facebook page, Headbangers, my big metal group page. And they're one of those bands, I find a lot of my favourite bands, my number one favourite album, I usually find it quite, not easy necessarily, but quite definitive in what I know is my number one favourite by that band. 2 through 6 might be difficult, but my one's normally clear. I find with Blue Oyster Cult is one of the bands that I can never really stick and stay on my favourite album of theirs. It's normally in between Cultosaurus erectus, this, Secret Treaties, and I love Mirrors. I think Mirrors is very underrated and I love it very much. Probably the top two that tend to jostle between is either Cultosaurus erectus and this, Spectres. But yeah, I don't know, there's... And of the albums that I all love, there are at times where I can put them on and go, wow, you know what? I can see why this could be the number one. You all know. I'm sure many of you, I shouldn't say you all know, that's a little bit presumptuous, but this is such a great album. It really is. It's one of those albums, and like I'm finding, you put it on, especially if you put it in the car and leave it there, and then every time you turn the car on and go, you just keep enjoying and enjoying and enjoying. And every time you go, yeah, I better switch on to something else and give a new CD, a different CD a run or whatever. Yeah, no, I might just listen to it one more time. Just infectious, addictive, fantastic heavy metal. And when you think about it, sometimes people go, well, are they really heavy metal? Are they hard rock? If you listen to a lot of the songs, especially on this and some other, it's not the heaviest of heavy metal, but what this was 1977, from memory, 1977, 1976, some pretty heavy stuff for 1977 on here. And, the riffs are metal. I've even heard some debates that, that the second half of Golden Age of Leather, which is one of my favourite Blue Oyster Cult songs of all time, it's not speed metal, but I've heard debates that that's a little bit of the start of speed metal. Certainly the second half of that song, it's pretty quick, and it's got that sound to it. Godzilla, what can you say? That hasn't been said before about that song. Just brilliant. Sums up this band perfectly. Heavy, good heavy metal riff. Some great riffing in there. Kind of funny, but without being corny or stupid. Funny in a clever way. Some of the best lyrics of Godzilla. He picks up a bus and he slams it down to the ground. Just brilliant. Just when you hear it, you want to sing it and laugh. And then the chorus, go, go, Godzilla. You never quite know if they're saying go, Godzilla, like go away, or go, go, Godzilla, as if they're cheering him on. Brilliant song, love it. As I say, Golden Age of Leather, one of my favourite Blue Oyster Cult songs of all time, heavy as well. Death Valley Nights, a bit of a slow burner. You think it's going to be a slow song, but then it kicks in and some good riffs in there as well. Searching for Celine, another good hard rocker, love it. The last track, this does have some bonus tracks on it, but the last real track, Nosferatu, really creepy, dark song. And it's not heavy as far as the riff or the guitar sound, but it's sort of heavy in a like a stylistic way, I guess. Just a great song, and yeah, I love this album. Absolutely love it. So yeah, my Blue Oyster Cult kick continues. The Fleetwood Mac one seems to have gone now. I think I got to a point where I'd saturated and went, okay, I think I'm done now. So it seems like Blue Oyster Cult. So it tends to happen with me. I have my new stuff that I'm listening to, the stuff that's been released and I'm listening to digitally, etc. A little bit of random picks from my archives, and then there'll be an overarching kick band that sort of lasts a month to 2 months or so, where I slowly go through and revisit things or order, you know, I might find some holes in their catalogue that I don't have, and I'll get them and fill it. So yeah, Blue Oyster Cult, here's them for sure at the moment. Last one I want to show that I've been listening to, brutal death metal band from Switzerland, but very catchy though, and addictive. So even though, yes, quite brutal, lots of good riffs, there's lots of good hooks in there. I've always said it doesn't matter how brutal or extreme the music is. For me, personally for me, it still needs to have some hooks. It needs to have some things that when you get to the end of the album, you go, I want to hear that again. I love brutal stuff. I love the extreme, but if it's just brutal for brutal's sake with nothing to pull me back in and attract me, I'll enjoy it, but then I'll probably put it back on the rack and won't listen to it for a long time. Whereas things that have some hooks and some catches in there and some interesting parts, it will bring me back. And very underrated band, really, really underrated band. This is their second album. From memory, they have either 3 or 4 albums. I can't quite remember. And as I say, yeah, this is their second album from Switzerland. Brilliant. The Highest Vision. This is actually a promo copy I got a while back. Not at the time it came out, but quite a while back. The Highest Vision, Supreme Resources of Self-Annihilation. How's that for a track? The Avatar and Expecting Putrefaction, probably my favourite songs in this. Love the album, but this is definitely one of those albums that seems to be a little bit, I like more the back end of it. I don't know why. And interesting packaging. Yeah, really interesting. Just a single card with a CD, and it's got all the biography of the band on the back there, which is basically a 2-piece. They do get other people coming in, but basically the recording version of the band is a 2-piece from Switzerland called Near Death Condition. Absolutely brilliant. So there we go, guys and girls. Some new releases, fantastic new releases. That Archspire Bleed the Future album will be a very strong contender for Album of the Year. I didn't mention that before. Along with A View from the Top of the World, Dream Theater. Both of those will be very strong contenders. October always has great new releases. It's a very bulging month as far as, certainly for big bands as well, well-established, well-known bands releasing. But there you go, some new releases, some things I've been listening to, and I will go through and try and watch as many of your videos as I can. And I'm hoping I can increase the frequency of mine a little bit back to where I was before. Any of the new subscribers that I have, I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the content, my channel. And yeah, I'll catch you all soon. Thanks for watching.